This is Byron Gordon for the SES Conference Channel. It is day 2 at SES London. We just came off of the New Search SEO panel, and we're speaking with David of Radicke eCommerce. And David, you really cited an interesting case study about Welt Online, which I thought maybe you could summarize a little bit for our audience about how effectively Welt has used Google to maximize its use of and rather featuring news and content. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, well, we're doing a lot of work on SEO for a long time, and we have been very successful on that. Of course, it has been a team of people working on that, and of course, it's a lot of technical stuff that we have been doing, but also the journalists have been really catching up on the SEO idea and have been really working on getting their titles right, their URLs right, and their summaries of the text right to go into the description. And then what we have done recently, because this has worked so well in the German market, we have created some English news channels and have been started publishing English content, actually, English news content. And it's a little tiny team, just two interns, or rather two freelancers, just trying to push English content. It has worked brilliantly, and if you search on Google.com for a lot of celebrities and stuff like that, you will find English content from Welt Online popping up in Google.News.com and also Google News India, and actually we're getting traffic now from about 150 different Google sites around the world, which is just amazing, and we just look at it every day and are happy about it.
We heard, of course, content is king, and so in order to be effective using Google News, you have to produce a lot of content. Can you talk about that?
Content is king. I mean, this is an old phrase, which is just there's nothing more important about it. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to be successful in Google News. You need lots of content. You need lots and lots and lots of content. You need to produce it daily, regular. Best is if you publish a story, a new story every 5 minutes. And for that, of course, you need a huge team, normally of journalists who are doing actively publishing articles. And also, what is important, you cannot just publish the normal feeds that you get from the agencies, from the news wires, but you need to take them, you need to rewrite them, you need to put pictures in so people find it attractive, you need to set links going in and out of the content. So you need good journalists to work on it, and that obviously is not there for everybody, but can only mainly be done by large news houses or publishing houses like the one I'm consulting for.
You also, of course, mentioned a little bit that Google is hosting content, and that's a criticism. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, we have seen recently, I think they started 2 years ago, to take the original news feeds from AFP, from Reuters, and from the other sites, and some of them they're hosting themselves, and some of them they're linking to from Google News. And this, of course, is for us as publishing houses not really. I shouldn't say us, I'm only consulting, so I'm only speaking for myself here, but still there is criticism in this area, because Google has this content, partially is hosted on their site. Some of them have even AdSense for remonetization on them, and so basically it's just the criticism is rather to the news agencies, because what they're doing, they want to sell us, the publishing houses, the content, the news feeds, but they're selling it also to our to Google News, and with that, news is being our competitor, because if you search for phrases, you find the Reuters information there, and if you take this into the real world, this would be like there's a Reuters newspaper lying at the newspaper stand, and in real world that would be unthinkable, because they're destroying their own business model. I think, I don't know what they're thinking of, but if they sell it to Google, and they do sell it, we heard that Google pays them for it. They have to just realize that we don't like it, and in the end, it happens in Germany at some parts, that this criticism leads to us withdrawing from the agencies, because why should we pay them if they're already paid by Google?
And you mentioned that Google has 98% of the news market share in Germany, and is that no accident?
You know, we've been discussing about that a lot. We don't know. By the way, it's not only the news market share, but it's the search market share of Google. I say 98%. I mean, I have access to some analytics account and some Omnitor accounts, and I see the same everywhere. Google has a huge part of the market share, 98%. I think it's the biggest in the world, to be honest. If I see the other market shares in other countries, it's less than that. We don't know exactly why that is the case. We just love Google. I don't know. now. I mean, Google is doing a very good job on search. Really, the search products are excellent. Maybe nobody has, Yahoo and MSN never have really maybe not done such a great job for some reason. People just like the pureness of Google in the beginning. And it's just, I cannot really explain it, but it's just there, and we don't see anybody coming up. And for example, Ask, which is still strong in the US, is just still trying their best in Germany, but nobody uses them really, unfortunately.
Thank you so much for talking to us, David.
You're welcome.
And we're live here at SES London Day 2. Stay tuned for more.